Today, we will discover quick and easy tips to preserve your tomatoes. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I preserve my excess tomatoes, or at least from the garden, or if you ever go to a farmer's market and buy a whole bunch of tomatoes and you don't know how to preserve them, or you don't want to put them in the refrigerator and have them soggy up, or you want to make an easy tomato to use. So this way you can either use the tomato that I'm going to make as a powder or as a paste. Either which way, it works and is amazing. And so I normally dehydrate them and then I'll powder them and keep them so that when I'm ready to use them, whether I'm using them in any particular dish that calls for tomato paste or tomato sauce, is right on hand to be used. All right, so let's get to it. These have already all been washed, so it's quite easy. All you need to do is tomato, no additives, and then you just start by slicing. You can slice them any which way you want. The key to it is slicing them around about the same thickness so that they can dehydrate evenly. This is quite easy and simple to do. Some people remove the seeds. I don't. I just slice them. After cutting, it's time to place them in whatever utensil you are going to dehydrate them or dry them in. I have a dehydrator, so I dehydrate everything in my dehydrator. The dehydrator comes with the dehydrator tray and the silicone top, but I normally put a parchment paper under with the tomatoes because it has some liquid and I want to also capture those. So then what you want to do is to start layering your tomatoes in one single file. Bear in mind that they are also going to shrink as they dehydrate. Then next, after placing them on a tray, I now put them in the dehydrator. I have a few of them loaded already. Then they're all loaded. And then we are going to close it and then plug it in. And then what we'll do is to turn it on 90 degrees and then we'll set it and then we'll leave it for 12 hours and we'll come back and check on it. And here is a close-up of the loaded dehydrator. Some people will say, oh, well and good, but I do not have a dehydrator. Don't despair. You can do this in an oven set at low temperature, like 350 degrees, slowly dry, and then you will get the same result. If you don't have an oven and don't have a dehydrator, you can dry these outside and make sure you cover them to prevent any kind of gnat. We let the tomatoes dehydrate for 12 hours overnight and we'll come back in the morning to check on it. The tomatoes are dried and I just got back from work. So let's go take a look and see how they look. We have this right here to collect all the dry tomatoes. So this is so dry. They literally snap. So we're just going to take them all out. Everything is dry. Let's look at that. This is all we have from the tomatoes. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to gather them and just blend it. And I'm using the dry blender and I'm blending them in batches. After you finish blending it, this is what it looks like. You can use this as is instead of using a paste, or if you wanted to make a sauce, a tomato sauce, all you need to do is to take a few scoops and then add some water and then allow it to hydrate. This is a paste consistency. And then I can add more water to make it into a sauce. The beauty of it is that due to the dehydration, it has already been cooked and you can literally taste it. It tastes like tomato paste or tomato sauce. It is so good. This is how easy it is to preserve excess tomatoes. And then what you want to do is to get a clean mason jar or any container that you can use for storage. And I'm just going to transfer it here. And then I would just cover it and then label. And now I can use this for anything that calls for tomatoes. I can use it instead of wasting extra tomatoes. Now, somebody may just say, well, I live in a country where I don't have a dehydrator. You don't necessarily have to dehydrate the tomatoes in a dehydrator. You can put it in a flat sheet, put it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit and leave it there for several hours, depending on the type of oven you have. Or if you live in a tropical country, you can literally just put it in a flat sheet, cover it with a net or anything that would keep the flies away or insects away. Leave it in the sun and it will get dehydrated. It may take a day or so depending on how hot the temperature is where you are. Nonetheless, this is an easy way to preserve most of your fruits and vegetables if you don't have refrigeration or if you don't have access to one. So here we are. We go from fresh tomatoes to the powdered to the sauce or paste that you can use at your convenience. And this can store up to 1 year in your pantry. If this video has been of value to you, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button so that we can notify you when we upload new video. This is Dr. Okeke. Thank you and God bless.